All right, welcome back. Lots to talk about today. And as the president is recovering from his COVID diagnosis, it seems like he's getting through it pretty well. But all the talk still about how Joe Biden won the debate, I beg to differ. My good friend, former Congressman Vito Fossella, and I host a weekly radio show heard here in New York on AM 970 The Answer on Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Pull a seat up to our table. And we talked about it yesterday that there's a lot of noise out there, but if you follow the signal, Joe Biden's words were pretty on point. He said, this is the Joe Biden party now. I'm not for the Green New Deal. He would not endorse law enforcement, said that Antifa was not an organization, and said he's going to raise your taxes. So not putting any political punditry on it. If you follow Joe Biden's own words, he should be aggravating the Bernie supporters significantly by saying he's no longer for the Green New Deal. And for all of you out there who want safety, security, and lower taxes, he was quite honest when his words said he doesn't care about law enforcement. He's with Antifa, and he's going to raise your taxes. So the words are there, but I want to dig a little deeper so that you can get a better understanding of what was really happening there. And I'm joined right now by one of the best in the business. Carole Lieberman joins us. She's an MD, MPH, board-certified Beverly Hills psychiatrist and best-selling author. Carole, first and foremost, a Beverly Hills psychiatrist must need a psychiatrist.
Yeah, a lot of big personalities.
I would imagine that. So, Carole, I wanted you to come on today because I'm trying to, as you may have heard in my open, I'm trying to separate the signal and the noise from the debate. And if you just listen to Joe Biden's words, he was quite clear in what this America is going to be like. But I thought a few times Trump had him on his heels. Chris Wallace kind of came to his rescue, but Joe Biden's body language looked like he was petrified. And I wanted you to give us some insights on what you took away from it from a body language perspective on both sides.
Yes. You know, Joe Biden was very, very stiff. And one of the interesting things, you know, after it came out that the pictures came out of his having a wire under his jacket, you know, I kept wondering throughout the debate why Joe Biden kept looking down. Did he have notes? And is that okay? But it seems to make sense that he could have been listening during these pauses, these long pauses. Of course, President Trump did talk a lot, but there was these long pauses where he was just looking down. And it could have been that he was listening to, you know, what people were telling him to say. It could also be that he was just trying to figure out where he was and what to say next.
So let me ask you this. Do you think... I've been reading all that stuff. We showed the clip. There's clearly some kind of black wire sticking out of his jacket. The campaign has come forward and said that it's rosary beads that he wears in honor of his son. I'm Catholic. I've never seen rosary beads that look like that, nor have I seen anyone wear them outside their shirt and under their jacket. That would be strange also.
Right.
But from a body language perspective, if someone is trying to listen to something, are they more inclined to bow their head down a bit?
Yes, absolutely, because he's trying to concentrate on what he's being told through the speakers, through the earbuds, whatever it was. You know, it's interesting. Perhaps you saw he tried to counteract this by putting something up, a pint of ice cream, because I had been talking about Adderall also. But he seems to have, there's something different in his cognitive abilities, even though he did still show more subtle signs of dementia. He was not as showing as florid signs as typically, even when he's in his own basement. So that does not make sense as a psychiatrist, because he was under a lot more pressure in the debate. But so he put up a screen, a shot of ice cream, you know, that is his Adderall. That's the thing that a performance enhancer. And he put up a picture of earbuds like you would use for, you know, an iPhone or something. And he trying to make fun of this, light of this, saying that no, that wasn't what he was doing.
Got it. So he's having a little fun with the Twitterverse. I'm sure it's not him posting that stuff anyhow. But at one particular time, Donald Trump said to him, "Why did your son get $3.5 million from Joe Biden?" why did your son get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? And he said, that's not true. But to me, he sure looked like he was lying.
Yes, that was the most uncomfortable part for him. There were a few questions or comments that President Trump posed to him about his son, and he just kept saying no, but no. But the way, I mean, if it was no, if there really wasn't anything there, he would have come back with some kind of statement to disprove it. Not just saying no, no, and then calling him a clown and saying shut up and all these things that showed that he was really emotionally, disturbed. I mean, in other words, affected by all of this, that he was upset. You don't come back with words that are really inappropriate unless you're totally rattled.
So you're aside from being a Beverly Hills psychiatrist, trained at NYU Bellevue, Anna Freud's London Clinic. You're on the faculty of UCLA's Neuropsychiatric Institute. Do you think, like Donald Trump asked him, why won't you say the words law enforcement? And to me, he had the same body language that when he asked him about the $3.5 million. Do you think that there were tells in his body language that he knew he was lying?
Well, the thing that was most impressive about his body language was how stiff he was. And I interpret that as his trying to hold it all together, like literally hold it all together. Because I don't think his cognitive abilities are what they should be. And he was just trying to, let me get through this kind of thing.
Yeah, so maybe they just told him, listen, stand at attention, get your arms tight to your sides. When you smile.
Smiling, inappropriate smiling, I might add. That inappropriate smiling when there's not really anything to smile about. When he was being asked these hard questions, he would smile inappropriately, and that is a sign of being nervous, being embarrassed, being ashamed or uncomfortable. Right. And there was a lot of that. At the beginning, he came out and he was smiling and he was, acting like a grandfatherly or a coach, come on, team, raw team. But then as the debate progressed, his smiles became inappropriate because they were, right after Trump would say something, that really shouldn't be making him smile.
Right. I get it. When I was a younger man, my parents had my brother and I do community theater. And a couple of those shows were like there were dance routines, and I was a decent thespian, but not a great dancer. And my mom used to say, even if you're screwing up the dance steps, just smile big, and everyone in the audience will be looking at you smile, not your feet. And that's always been a crutch for me. And now that you say it, I didn't notice that, but right, he's asking him about, why his son took a payoff from the mayor of Moscow, and he's got this big, this big grin on, like that's like a defense mechanism, right?
Yes, exactly. And, just even in normal conversation, if somebody asks you about your deceased son, or a son, another son, not the deceased one, but, something that's making that you've been charged about before. I mean, you've been criticized about before. That's not something that would, you would not be smiling about it, even not in a debate, but just in normal conversation, you wouldn't be smiling about it. It's something, it's a dark side.
Absolutely. And, kind of similarly, Donald Trump asked him to denounce Antifa. And Joe Biden's response was, kind of smirkingly, come on, Antifa's an idea, not an organization. It's clearly an organization.
And it makes you wonder, where has he been? Well, we know where he's been. He's been in the basement, but surely he must have been watching television and learning about, one would hope, learning about Antifa even before the riots.
Yeah, you would think, being that, and this isn't a joke, if you type in www.antifa.com into your browser, it takes you directly, unchecked, to Joe Biden's donation page. So particularly, Joe Biden should know that there's an organization there because they redirect to his donation page.
Yes, yes. And you would hope he would want to do something about it.
Well, right. If I wasn't down with the actions of an organization, I would certainly take all measures to prevent them from contributing to my cause, because I don't support them. But doesn't look like on any front he's doing anything to shut down Antifa, or at least denounce them. Carole, thank you so much for joining us today, Doctor. You were fantastic. And it was Dr. Lieberman's first time with us. And hopefully you will join us again for a liquid lunch.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you very much. Carole Lieberman, MD, MPH, board-certified psychiatrist, board-certified Beverly Hills psychiatrist, best-selling author, and great guest. We are going to make sure you're still sleeping sound. Pillows are going out today along with books. But today I have another gift for you if you want it.